Gnome 46 is going to be out as of the recording today. It'll be out in 2 days, but when this comes out, it should already be out. And I am pronouncing it Gnome and Gnome because everyone always tells me it's one, so I just pronounce it both ways.
I'll probably never see it because I just run mainline Ubuntu.
Back during Unity, right?
Yeah. That I hated.
Hello, how the tech are you? My name is HK Perrin, and this week I've got a really interesting story. If you are a Linux user, you may have heard KDE 6 came out recently. Well, Gnome 46 is going to be out as of the recording today. It'll be out in 2 days, but when this comes out, it should already be out. Gnome 46 is going to have some really awesome features that I'm very excited for as a GNOME user myself. And I am pronouncing it Gnome and GNOME because everyone always tells me it's one, so I just pronounce it both ways. Expandable notifications. If you get a notification that is too long to display, you can now actually read all the text with the new expand button. I can't wait for that. Online accounts now lets you add WebDAV, CardDAV, and CalDAV accounts. So you can now have an account that syncs your files, your contacts, and your calendars with the server using those protocols. And as someone who has written my own WebDAV server, I'm very excited for that. Remote login with RDP. You can now enable remote access to your desktop with RDP straight from the GNOME settings app. And finally, better fractional scaling support. So fractional scaling, which is where you set your screen to increase by like 125% or like 150% rather than like 200 or 300%. A fraction of 100%. That is finally leaving the experimental realm, and you can set your screen to 125, 150, 175. If you have one of those displays like I have, where 200 is way too big and 100 is way too small. So I'm really excited for that. What do you guys think?
I'll probably never see it because I just run mainline Ubuntu.
Yeah, it sounds nice, but maybe not something I would notice.
I do like out of the desktop environments, I do prefer we'll go with another pronunciation. I've heard Gnome. We call it Gnome too. I do prefer that, but my production machines, I don't F with anything. So whatever Ubuntu Studio ships, that's what I'm running. And in this case, it's now KDE. So that's what I spend most of my time in. I spend most of my time in probably some very old version of Plasma because I also stick to the LTSs, and I'm 2 years behind everybody because of that. But I like every time I see a refresh of the GNOME desktop, I always like the new features that they seem to be doing a pretty good job chugging along and not changing things too much so that it annoys you, but adding neat stuff that you're like, oh, that's neat. And that's probably the best way for iterative change to happen, for you to, instead of something completely disrupting your workflow, you go, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, one of the things that I really like about Gnome is the fact that like there is so little to the UI outside of your windows that you get like the maximum screen space that you can. And I know you can configure KDE for that, but I just really like the way that would you call it Gnome?
Gnome.
I really like the way that Gnome actually like lays out things by default.
Yeah, I don't ever like the laptop that I have GNOME on is just like a carry around during the show to like monitor Twitch chat. I just install Ubuntu and whatever they decided it should do it. That's what it does, and I just don't care. I think I tweak it. I'm like, could you please give me dark mode? That's it. That's my whole process. I know that there's a lot of customization and stuff in there, and I probably would have done a bunch of it like in years past, but now I'm just like, oh, I know where everything is. This is fine. I have work to do.
Yep. So yeah, I was the same way. I used to love to customize everything, and now it's like I find something that has a default that I like, and I just leave it that way.
And if the default is a little different than I want it, but it's not too annoying, I'm just like, I'll just get used to this.
Yep.
You remember the open close button argument? Should they be on the left side or the right side of the window?
Oh my god, yeah, that was back during Unity, right?
Yeah. We're trying to do it more like
Unity.
Mac. That I hated.
Well, I did like that. Like when you maximized a window, the title bar would kind of become the bar at the top.
Yeah,
and the closed windows would go up into that bar. And I really liked that because then it you had like the most screen real estate it would seem like possible while still having like good control over the UI.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I think by that point though, I was definitely just like, okay, well, whatever the defaults are, it's fine. I'll just get used to it. What I do like is like RDP like directly from the settings, because it's in the settings, but it's not. You have to like go looking for it, and you have to configure it. And this, I would imagine, if it's just like one of the settings, I imagine it's also got like sane defaults and makes it like real easy to get in.
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna have RDP and SSH. Both like you'll be able to set up remote access with both of those right from the settings, which is really awesome.
Yeah, I have a NAS that I'm just too lazy to actually use any NAS software for. So I just install Ubuntu on it and I use RDP to get into it. And that's how I manage that system. I know whatever, there's other, but I'm like, you know what the system does? I back up stuff to it, and then I watch the X-Files from it on my Kodi my Kodi box. So I'm like, I don't care if it lets me send files to it and then lets me watch the X-Files. It's done its job. So that's really cool. Maybe I doubt that this will be in the Ubuntu 14.04 LTS, because that's coming pretty soon, and I imagine
2404. I think it is.
Really?
I'm pretty sure Ubuntu times their releases so that they can include the latest GNOME with their newest release. So I'm pretty sure 2404 will have GNOME 46.
Oh, well then I'll get it. I don't know, probably not the day that 2404 comes out, because man, the trying to install it the day it comes out is
yep. I always wait like a month before I try and upgrade.
I just wait until it alerts me to it, and it never alerts you on the first day, because it's like we're having enough problems over here as it is.
Yep.
Just wait till it tells me, and then I'm like, oh, you're telling me to do that. That's fine. We'll do what you're saying, laptop. It's sort of like now how it will alert you that you have new firmware for your motherboard or whatever. I'm like, well, I guess now's the time to do that.
Yeah, I really like that. Except I run a VM and it always tells me that there's new firmware for the VM's firmware.
Well, just ignore that.
It doesn't actually work. Like it doesn't update it because it's in a VM. It's all virtualized.
Yeah. I don't
like it notifies me constantly about it.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not what it's for. I think they must assume that someone running a virtual machine is I don't know, smarter than you, and knows that that's not going to work.
Thank you for watching How the Tech Are You? We do this show weekly and put it out in segments on YouTube, and we also put it out as a podcast. You can check out this and all of our other shows at echoplexmedia.com. And if you liked, you can, if you liked the video, you can like a video on YouTube. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. If you want to support us, you can do that on patreon.com/echoplex or at eplex.store. There's going to be another video on the screen right here, and have a great tech and week.